Hello, geometry. Your map tests are done. They should be done for map. How did you do? I'll be anxious to hear. It was positive. Did anything look familiar? Did they have the 180s? Did they do parallel lines for geometry? I'm hoping they did something for you that you felt comfortable with. Today we're going to work with isosceles triangles. And one of the things that shows up a lot, quite often in geometry, we get a lot of our geometry, the words especially, from the Greeks. And the word isosceles, because sometimes you look at a word like isosceles, it's even difficult to spell. Wait until you get to some of the other words that are even longer. An icosahedron. Uh, the words come from, most of the time, they come from Greek. And I've wanted to show you something simple. You don't need to. It may show up as an extra credit or something on a quiz today. But isosceles breaks down into two Greek words. And the first one is this isos. And you've got the word isos in Greek means equal. And skeles, this is kind of a cool one. I like this one. Skeles in Greek is where we get the word skeleton from. And so it's an equal skeleton. But when they were talking about it in Greece years ago, and what the Apostle Paul would have used, he used this language, and he would have understood an isosceles, an isosceles. It deals with skeleton, but specifically legs. And so what you have here, and you knew this from back in the 3rd and 4th grade, an isosceles triangle has equal legs. What you might not have known, though, back in 3rd, 4th grade, is that it comes from a Greek word meaning equal legs, isos and skeles. I just like that skeleton one, if for nothing else. Kind of neat thing to know. Well, today we're going to deal with that, but before we do, let's step back with what you know or what you should know as far as the basic idea of the number of degrees in a triangle, 180 degrees. So we found that, hey, wait a minute. If we have a 50 and if we have a 30, you guys did some work at that and you said, well, 180 as it starts out, then I subtract 50, I subtract 30, and I'm left with 100 for that top. All right, now you've done that. We also found that we can play with this and challenge a little bit more. And let's say we're given an angle out here of 110 degrees. And you got the top one of 100 degrees. They want to know, well, how many degrees in this far one over here? We've done these. And so it's just a good review now. We can step back and see that, well, wait a minute. I know, and Caleb knows, that there are 108 degrees in a straight line. And so Jack got his calculator out and he said it's 180 minus that 110. And you know what Jack came up with? He came up with a 70 right there. And now, Dragon, I don't know if you got your haircut for that car or not, but let's just say that you then said, well, I got 70 and 8 and 100. That's 170 degrees. I subtract that from 180. And Kruger, what you have is 10 degrees left over there. We've done all that. And you've done inside, outside. You've played with all sorts of triangles like that of 180 degrees. Well, isosceles triangles actually make life a little bit easier for us. And if I can share with you one of the greats, one of the basketball greats here, Shaquille O'Neal. Now, in that center picture, in his Lakers uniform, he looks big, looks like a large, regular size basketball player. But I did find these other pictures to be kind of amusing here. If you look up here in this upper left-hand corner, there he is next to a normal size, normal height Jimmy. And Jimmy Fallon. And then he's next to Jimmy Fallon again, and he's letting him wear his coat here in the bottom left. And again, you say, okay, that's normal size, but no, it's greatly increased in size to where you look at a guy like Shaquille and you realize, hey, those are large sports coats, large tie, large long pants. But here's the part I need you to see. Look up here on the right. Look at his shoes. That lady is holding one of Shaquille O'Neal's shoes. That is a size 23. It's almost the size of your desk front to back, your desktop there. And that's what I need you to see here as we work with, and remember as we work with isosceles triangles. Because Shaquille O'Neal has large shoes to fit large feet. And he's got long legs, as you can see in this bottom left picture. But his legs are the same size, which also means his feet are going to be the same size. And in an isosceles triangle, what we have here are two long legs that are equal. And they're going to start using, and this gets us into something a little new here that you would have had in the elementary school, but you see them now. This little tick mark here and over there, that's their way of showing you that those two legs are equal. Those two line segments are equal. Those two parts are equal. They're going to put little tick marks. And if there's more than one, they're going to give a double one. But this is just going to need one. They're showing that these legs, and if I put a body up here with a couple of arms and a head, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at Shaquille's legs, and his legs are equal. But you know what that means? It means that his feet are also equal. And in an isosceles triangle, if you've got equal legs, you are automatically locking into Shaquille's shoes. Those are also going to be both the same size. They're both going to be size 23. And they mark that here with these little curves. And that one curve and a one curve means that those two angles are going to be the same measurement. Equal legs mean equal feet. Equal feet mean equal legs. They're going to use them interchangeably, and you should get real comfortable using those. Equal legs, equal feet, and those little marks show you which ones are equal. Well, let's look at some examples here. Let's say I've got a triangle now, and it looks like so. And it's got a little tick mark here, a little tick mark there. There you go. You know that the legs are equal. And they tell you that this angle is 70 degrees, and this angle, well, we're going to find out. Because, see, all they have to now give you is one shoe. This is a size 70 shoe. Well, if you have equal legs, you've got equal feet, so this one has to be 70 as well. And now Jack gets out his calculator and he says 180 minus a 70 and a 70. That is 40 left for this top angle. They give you one angle, you can figure out the two without any trouble at all. Let's see if I can give you another one here. Let's say we've got this triangle. And this is where it gets a little trickier. But they're going to show you, there's Shaquille's legs. And then they're going to say that this angle up here is 80. And they want you to figure this one and this one. What size shoe is this guy wearing? Well, go back and think now. We can use, let's use Braden. Braden gets his calculator out now, and he remembers 180 degrees in the triangle. And so he subtracts the 80 at the top, and he knows then that the calculator says there's 100 degrees left for these bottom two. Now, there's 100 degrees. Well, is 160, is 140, is 170, 130, 190, 110? No, because they're equal. Those are 2 equal legs, so they have to have 2 equal feet. So let's divide it by 2. And 100 divided by 2 is 50. They both have 50. So they're going to come at it from different ways. You got the top down and you got the bottom up. And both ways will work fine. Let me give you one example now of how this would work on your assignment or on a quiz. There we go. This old faithful triangle with a leg out here. And what they're going to do, they're going to say, there you go. Look at that. Look at that, Xander. Got equal legs. That tells you an awful lot. And I'm going to put up here in the top here, I'm going to put 30 degrees. And I want to know this guy right there. They give you one number. You can find that X. And that's why I want you to focus on those legs. Focus on those equal legs. Focus on Shaquille O'Neal, because Shaquille O'Neal is going to show you that he's got equal legs, which means he has equal feet. So Braden gets out his calculator again, and he's got 180, and he subtracts that 30 at the top because he knows that for sure. 180 minus 30 is 150 degrees. Well, that means those 2 bottom shoes, those 2 bottom feet, those 2 bottom angles that are equal, because you had equal legs, have to share equally 150 degrees. And so 150 divided by 2 is 75, 75. Hey, but wait a minute. We're still looking for this guy here. But that's a neat thing. Brian would then tell you, well, that's not a problem because there's 180 degrees. And so I'm going to take 180 and subtract 75. And that leaves 105 for that angle. You guys, you've come a long way on it. You know that we started out with 180 degrees in the triangle. Now you can find more with less. All they had to do was show you that 30 and that you're dealing with Shaquille O'Neal with equal legs, and you were able to work the rest of them. Remember, with the YouTube, you can come back, you can pause, you can come back and try and look at it again if it doesn't make sense. Good luck on your map test tomorrow in another subject. I don't know if it's English tomorrow, but enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good supper, and we will see you later.